But your question, your original question, was should Ukrainian Canadians vote for myself? And it's an awkward question, but that's par for the course, and I should expect questions of this sort, especially as the campaign is heating up. And that means drawing a comparison between myself and the other candidate who has a chance of winning in Etobicoke Centre, and that's Mr. Opitz. And Mr. Opitz has traveled with the Prime Minister. He shows up at all the Ukrainian Canadian events, and as he should. We have a large Ukrainian Canadian community in Etobicoke Centre, and that's the least we can expect. His unfortunate circumstance is that I'm the Liberal candidate in Etobicoke Centre. And let's set our political labels, team colors aside. And I'm not a hyper-partisan. I know that's the nature, generally the nature of politics these days in Canada, but I'm not. And I've worked well with Conservatives, with NDP, and specifically worked extremely well with all parties in the House of Commons on Ukrainian files. How many motions and resolutions has Mr. Opitz introduced in the House of Commons dealing with Ukraine at critical junctures has he introduced? It's awkward to talk about this, but how can you compare the track record? Well, I've probably lost count. But I also not only introduced it, I worked behind the scenes with the other parties to garner unanimous support during the Orange Revolution. I knew how to bring everyone together from all parties to get unanimous support for a resolution on sanctions at that time against former President Kuchma and his clan and Yanukovych, should they not agree to a rerun of the presidential elections. It wasn't a situation where demonstrators were being sniped, shot and killed. And yet we already had a unanimous resolution passed by Canada. And there was no cop-out, we have to wait on our allies, the Americans, the European Union. Canada led. There's a video, in fact, where former Prime Minister Martin speaks to this, where he says quite clearly, if it wasn't for Borys, I would not have gotten up in the House of Commons at that time and told Mr. Putin, hands off Ukraine.
It's right. I did stand up in the House of Commons and basically say to Putin, hands off the Ukrainian election. That this is the democratic will. But understand something. I had not been briefed to do that by the Department of Foreign Affairs. I had not been briefed to do that by my own Foreign Affairs advisor. The department in Ottawa essentially took a position of hands off. I was briefed to do that by Borys, who was in the Ukraine at the time. Now that's why I did it. And if he hadn't done it to me, I would love to have said to you that I would have done it, but I would not have. It would not have crossed my mind. I would not have understood the issue the way that he explained it to me in a relatively short phone call. Now that is what a person, one man or one woman, can do. What Canada did in terms of the Orange Revolution, what Canada did, the final recognition, and Paul is here, the final recognition in terms of what happened after the First World War in Canada, so much of this is due to the fact that Borys would not let it go.
We need to see Canadian leadership. Everyone talks about a special relationship between our two countries. Not just on words. Let's see deeds. At some point, words are not enough. And that's why you need people that have demonstrated an ability to get things done for Ukraine.